Matt, he sent me a message saying if I buy that car, he'll sort me out the parts for it and we'll work out from there. So I had his word originally from the start. Alex had the same thing.
For years, the automotive restoration world has celebrated creators who turn wrecked supercars into masterpieces. But nothing could prepare fans for the storm that erupted when Elon Musk suddenly weighed in on Mat Armstrong's latest rebuild. In a statement that sent shockwaves across the internet, Musk didn't hold back, calling the restoration process a scam and questioning everything viewers thought they knew. Now, fans are divided, insiders are whispering, and one question is dominating every conversation. What did Musk really see that everyone else missed? The new age of cars. Cars have shifted from simple mechanical machines into complex, software-driven systems. In the past, faults were easy to diagnose and fix with basic tools and mechanical skill. Today's vehicles rely heavily on hidden digital systems, making repairs more complicated and moving ownership and control beyond traditional hands-on understanding. Today's cars are no longer just machines made of metal and fuel. They are now advanced computers on wheels. Inside them runs a complex web of software that controls almost everything. In fact, in many modern vehicles, the software is no longer just supporting the engine. It is directing the entire performance of the car. A vehicle can look perfect on the outside, have a fully rebuilt engine, and still refuse to function because a hidden digital system has decided to block it. This marks a major turning point in the automotive world, where control has quietly shifted from hands and tools to lines of code. Electric cars, hybrid systems, and modern high-performance vehicles now depend on layers of encrypted software. These systems manage battery health, speed limits, braking response, steering behavior, crash detection, and even safety checks after repairs. In some cases, a car that has been perfectly restored by a skilled engineer may remain inactive simply because it has not been approved by the manufacturer's digital systems. The machine no longer belongs only to steel and skill. It also belongs to software permissions. This development has created a growing tension in the industry. Car manufacturers argue that this level of software control is necessary. They say it protects drivers, ensures safety standards, maintains performance quality, and prevents unsafe modifications. From their perspective, modern vehicles are too complex to be left fully open to unrestricted changes. On the other side are independent mechanics, engineers, and passionate car enthusiasts. They believe ownership should be complete. If you buy a car, you should be able to repair it, rebuild it, and fully control it without needing hidden permission from a company's server or digital key. To them, a car should not become disabled simply because it has been repaired outside an authorized system. This disagreement has moved far beyond small workshops. It now appears in court cases, online debates, engineering forums, and global discussions about what ownership really means in a digital world. At the center of it all is Tesla, Inc., a company that didn't just build electric vehicles, but helped accelerate the shift towards software-controlled mobility. Its innovations pushed the entire industry forward, but also intensified the debate. As cars became smarter, they also became more restricted. Now, the question is no longer only about speed, design, or efficiency. It has become something deeper and more uncomfortable. When you own a car, do you truly control it, or does the software quietly hold the final authority? And somewhere far from Silicon Valley, that question is about to be tested in a very real garage. But who is Mat Armstrong? What is he known for? Let's delve into the details of Mat Armstrong and the garage revolution. From wrecks to wonders rebuilt. Mat Armstrong did not begin his journey as a trained engineer, a factory insider, or someone with deep connections in the automotive industry. He started as something much more ordinary and relatable. A passionate car lover with simple curiosity, a camera in his hands, and a bold willingness to try things most people would never risk. His life took a sharp turn after a serious BMX crash that forced him to rethink his direction. Instead of following a traditional and predictable career path, he found himself increasingly drawn to something unusual. Broken cars, abandoned wrecks, and insurance write-offs that others saw as useless scrap metal. Where most people saw the end of a vehicle's life, he began to see the possibility of a second chance. At the beginning, his motivation was not fame, money, or even business success. It was pure curiosity. He kept asking himself questions that few people bother to explore. What really happens when a car is declared beyond repair? Who decides that a machine is finished? And most importantly, is it truly possible for skill, patience, and determination to bring it back to life? He started small, with a damaged Audi TT, nothing flashy, nothing exotic, just a crashed, affordable car that cost too much to repair in a professional workshop compared to its market value. For most people, it would have been an easy decision: strip it for parts, or send it straight to the scrapyard. But Matt chose a different path. He turned the entire process into a learning journey, documenting every step with his camera. He showed himself buying the damaged car, carefully inspecting hidden structural issues, stripping it down piece by piece, searching for affordable replacement parts, and slowly rebuilding it in his garage with his own hands. The result was not flawless, and the project did not instantly make him famous. But it achieved something far more important. It proved that automotive rebuilding could be honest, transparent, and deeply educational when shared openly. That moment marked a turning point. From there, his ambition grew. The projects became bigger and more challenging. First came BMWs, then Porsches, and eventually even Lamborghinis. Each new build carried higher costs, deeper damage, and more technical complexity than the last. Yet one principle never changed: honesty. He never edited out the struggles. Mistakes were shown, not hidden. If a part failed to fit, viewers saw it. If a repair attempt went wrong, it stayed in the final cut. If something broke again after being fixed, that reality was included too. This raw transparency built something powerful: trust. And trust slowly turned into a loyal global audience. Over time, his garage became more than a workspace. It became a place where the true story of modern car repair was revealed without filters or shortcuts. Millions of viewers began to tune in, not just for entertainment, but to understand how advanced machines behave when they are pushed beyond their limits. And then came the defining moment, when he began taking on supercars that even manufacturers had officially written off as total losses. What makes Elon Musk so confident to call Mat Armstrong a scam? Could he really have meant the statement? Let's dive into the details of Tesla's digital fortress that restricts repair freedom. Tesla's software-locked automotive ecosystem. Today's Tesla vehicles are no longer built like ordinary cars. In many ways, they function more like highly advanced computers that happen to move on four wheels. Behind the sleek design and quiet electric motors lies a deeply connected digital system powered by complex software, encrypted communication, cloud technology, and layers of cybersecurity protection. Every moment a Tesla is on the road, it is constantly exchanging information with mobile networks, smartphone apps, charging stations, and Tesla's cloud servers while processing huge amounts of data every single hour. This heavy dependence on software is one of the biggest reasons independent rebuilders often face major difficulties when trying to repair or restore damaged Tesla vehicles. Unlike traditional cars, where replacing a broken component may be enough to get the vehicle running again, Tesla's systems are designed to verify and protect themselves through advanced digital security measures. The company uses encrypted communication between different vehicle modules, secure firmware checks, private digital handshakes, and regular over-the-air updates that constantly monitor the health and integrity of the car's systems. As a result, fixing the physical damage is often only part of the challenge. A repaired battery, replaced sensor, or newly installed electronic module may still refuse to work properly unless the software recognizes and approves it. Many Tesla components require digital pairing, software authentication, or direct synchronization with Tesla's tightly controlled ecosystem before the car can fully function again. Cybersecurity researchers explain that Tesla carefully separates critical driving systems from entertainment features while continuously checking for any signs of tampering, unauthorized access, or suspicious modifications. Experts in vehicle cybersecurity have repeatedly warned that modern connected cars can become attractive targets for hackers. Wireless connections such as Bluetooth, LTE networks, Wi-Fi systems, and external connectivity modules can all create possible entry points for cyber attacks. Because of these risks, Tesla aggressively releases software patches and security updates through its over-the-air update system, quickly closing vulnerabilities before they can be widely exploited. For independent DIY rebuilders, this changes the entire nature of car restoration. Repairing a Tesla is no longer purely mechanical work involving tools, welding, and replacement parts. Even after fixing the frame, electronics, or battery pack, the vehicle may still require encrypted firmware validation, software calibration, cloud-based authorization, or network synchronization before important features can operate correctly again. This reality has sparked a growing debate across the automotive industry. Supporters believe Tesla's strict digital security system protects drivers from cyber threats, dangerous modifications, and unsafe repairs. Critics, however, argue that the company's tightly controlled software ecosystem limits repair freedom and makes independent rebuilding far more difficult for technicians who lack official access to Tesla's digital infrastructure. Which vehicle proved Elon Musk right about Mat Armstrong? How did it happen? Let's dig into the details of the resistance he met on the Ferrari 296 GTB. Rebuilt vision, locked reality. The turning point in Mat's journey began the day he won an auction in Cyprus for a wrecked Ferrari 296 GTB. To most people, the car was already finished. It had been through a brutal high-speed crash after its traction control system was disabled, leaving the driver with no electronic safety net. What remained was a broken shell of Italian engineering. When the car arrived, its condition told the story without words. The front suspension had been completely torn away, leaving the nose unstable and exposed. Structural elements that were meant to protect the cabin were fractured and weakened. The delicate wiring harness, which carried signals to nearly every system in the car, was ripped apart like thread. Even the carbon fiber monocoque, the very backbone of the vehicle, had been compromised. Crash structures designed to absorb impact had done their job once, and then been destroyed in the process. Ferrari's own inspection confirmed what most would assume. The car was beyond economical repair. It was, by all practical standards, scrap. But Mat did not see an ending. He saw a beginning hidden inside a ruin. He purchased the wreck for a fraction of its original value, fully aware that he was stepping into uncertainty. The decision made sense only if something extraordinary could be achieved, something that logic alone could not guarantee. What followed was months of painstaking work that pushed the limits of an independent garage. Every damaged section had to be studied, measured, and either rebuilt or replaced. The chassis was slowly brought back into alignment with millimeter precision. New wiring systems were painstakingly laid in, reconnecting the car's nervous system one circuit at a time. Mechanical components were reinstalled carefully, as if rebuilding a living body from scattered parts. Each stage demanded patience, skill, and constant problem-solving. Then Matt made a decision that changed everything. Instead of restoring the Ferrari exactly as it left the factory, he chose to evolve it. He introduced elements from the Ferrari 296 Challenge, a racing version built strictly for the track and never intended for public roads. Aggressive aerodynamic panels replaced the original body lines. The stance was widened for stability at high speed. A large fixed rear wing was fitted, transforming airflow and downforce. Carbon fiber racing components replaced heavier parts wherever possible. The car was no longer just being repaired, it was being reimagined. When the mechanical work was finally complete, the car stood there alive again, visually striking and physically whole. Every system appeared ready. Yet, when the moment came to start it, silence followed. The engine refused to respond. No mechanical fault could be found. Everything had been rebuilt correctly. The problem was invisible. It lived inside the software. The car's electronic systems detected inconsistencies between factory coding and modified components, triggering security locks that disabled the entire system. Diagnostics failed. Hybrid controls remained frozen. Communication between modules collapsed. Ferrari's intervention made the situation even tighter. To unlock the system, they required the car to be fully restored to original factory specification and inspected by certified technicians. Every modification had to be removed, and so the project became trapped in contradiction. To fix the software, the vision had to be undone. But to preserve the vision, the car could never return to what it was. Did Mat Armstrong have any similar experience afterwards? Which brand gave him the challenge? Let's take a look at the Bugatti counterpoint and the entry of a new force. From garage rebuild to global debate. While the situation around the Ferrari 296 GTB was turning into a long legal and technical deadlock, another major project was happening at the same time in the background, the rebuild of a Bugatti Chiron. This was not an ordinary car repair. The Bugatti Chiron is one of the most complex road machines ever built. It carries a quad-turbocharged W16 engine, producing over 1,500 horsepower. And every system is tightly connected with extreme precision. Even small repairs require a deep understanding of engineering and electronics. Unlike the Ferrari case, the challenge was not mainly software locks or digital permissions. Instead, it was rarity and difficulty in finding parts, and extreme engineering complexity. Many components are custom-made, replacements not easy to source. Factory support is very limited once a car is heavily damaged or out of warranty. Still, the rebuild moved forward step by step. Each stage required patience, testing, and careful assembly. Even when voices from the automotive world questioned whether such a rebuild could succeed outside the factory, the team continued working through each problem one at a time. Eventually, the effort paid off. The Bugatti came back to life. The engine started, systems responded, and the car moved again under its own power. It was a rare and powerful moment showing what determined engineering can achieve when time and skill are available. This result also made an important point clear. Mechanical complexity can often be solved with enough expertise, tools, persistence. But software restrictions behave differently. They can block progress, even when physical repair is complete. That difference became the center of a growing debate. Soon after, the discussion grew far beyond the garage. Elon Musk entered the conversation publicly. He criticized modern software locks in vehicles, arguing that they can limit true ownership even when someone has legally bought the car. More than just speaking, he proposed action. He revealed work on an open diagnostic framework designed to communicate with modern vehicle systems in a legal and controlled way, without breaking encryption or stealing protected software. The goal was simple: help restore vehicles properly and restart their essential systems after real repairs. Then came a major turning point. Mat Armstrong was mentioned as one of the first people who could benefit from this system. Engineering support was offered to help resolve the digital lock issues affecting the Ferrari project. What began as a personal garage rebuild had now grown into a global technical discussion. Engineers, manufacturers, and the public were now watching closely. The issue was no longer just about one car or one workshop. It has become a worldwide debate about ownership, technology, and control in modern vehicles. Ultimately, the situation showed that modern car ownership is no longer just about engines and bodywork, but also about software, data, and control systems that decide how a vehicle behaves after repair. As technology continues to advance, the line between mechanical repair and digital permission will become even more important, shaping how future builders, restorers, and owners understand what it truly means to bring a car back to life fully. Does this mean automobiles still own the vehicle even after selling? Whose interest is being protected? Let's find out. Who truly owns modern cars? The consequences of this situation extend far beyond one Ferrari, one YouTuber, or even one company. At its core, the conflict raises a fundamental question about modern ownership. When you buy a physical product today, especially a high-end vehicle, what exactly do you own? You own the materials, the body, the wheels, the interior, the engine. But do you own the software that decides whether it functions? Manufacturers argue that software control ensures safety, protects intellectual property, and preserves performance standards. Without it, they say, vehicles could become unsafe or unreliable after unregulated repairs. But critics argue something more fundamental. Ownership without control is not true ownership. If a product can be disabled after purchase, then ownership becomes conditional rather than absolute. The involvement of major engineering resources, public figures, and global debate has now turned what began as a garage project into a test case for the future of repair rights. Ferrari and similar manufacturers now face pressure not just from individuals, but from a growing coalition of engineers, policymakers, and technology leaders. At the same time, companies are not silent because they are defeated. They are silent because they are preparing. Legal strategies are being refined. Arguments are being structured. The next phase of this conflict is likely to move into formal legal arenas. And in the middle of it all sits a single car, fully rebuilt, mechanically complete, visually flawless, but still locked, waiting for a digital key that may now be challenged in courtrooms rather than controlled in corporate offices. Whether this becomes a breakthrough moment for repair freedom or a legal shutdown of independent rebuilding will depend on what happens next. But one thing is already certain. The era of simple car ownership is over. What comes next will redefine not just how cars are fixed, but who is truly allowed to fix them at all. So, what do you think about Mat Armstrong's rebuilding missions? Do you think Tesla and other big automobiles are right to prevent repairs? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.